based on what's on sale. But I definitely, think if something is on sale and I can help make that work for them, then, why not recommend it? And obviously 21 Day Fix and the Extreme and 22-Minute Hardcore are some of the most popular programs right now. And on that note, also our next challenge group will start on the 25th. On the little flyer I made that I shared, I believe, in the group, I put that the start date was the 20th just so we could get a few days of prep in before. But we will actually start on the 25th. So I would say, if you're inviting to that group, keep inviting up until, the weekend before even, and if the people don't have their packages in yet, they can always stream the workouts via on demand and at least take advantage of the menus that we provide. And I will try to provide one additional menu this month since I didn't make a new one last month. For those of you that have been following, Summit is Beachbody's big coach event that they do once a year, and it's in Nashville this year. It was in Nashville last year, and that is in 2 weeks. Starts on Thursday with like a kickoff. There are some personal workouts with celebrity trainers. Like you basically got to go in and pick which workout you wanted with which trainer you wanted if there was space available. And then all of the top coaches and some other individuals will be actually speaking, and you got to pick your track to determine, what presentations you wanted to go to. And it basically is just this really awesome event that I didn't get to go to last year, but I kind of streamed some of the events that were occurring. And on YouTube, you can always go back and watch any of the old presentations. But it's basically a great way to get information from, all the top coaches. And they go through anything from social media to how to run effective challenge groups, to how to, build a team yourself. And I would strongly encourage everyone that isn't going this year to try to go next year. And what they'll do is release tickets for next year right after this year's event is done. And, it's kind of just a way to feel like you're a part of something bigger too, because I know obviously all of us run our businesses from home and we talk and we can have these team calls, but this is a really great way to kind of know what the business you're affiliated with is. And Taryn and I will be going to that, and I'm going to attempt to record some of the presentations live for you all so you can see what's happening. They last year did a live workout on the big main street. Lauren could probably tell us what the name of it is because I can't remember, in Nashville. And they do that with all the celebrity trainers, and they'll kind of rotate out in 10-minute segments, and that's actually streamed via Beachbody On Demand. I think they'll do that again, and that was a cool way for me being at home to feel like I was kind of a part of it too. And so I'll post updates on that for you all and let you kind of see what's going on. And then they make all the new announcements for like what programs are coming out, what new performance line products, or if there's a new Shakeology flavor, or, any news like that. They'll do a lot of different presentations around that at Summit. And if you can't make it to Summit, which I know most of the team can't, I strongly encourage you to try to make it to the Super Saturday that's located in your area the week after. And what that is kind of a recap of what happens at Summit, but it also is a great way to meet local coaches. And there's a map that should be right on our Coach Online office. And if you can't figure it out, where it is, I'm certainly happy to help you do that. But you should have a local event. And then what they do is kind of play a video from corporate, and it'll recap some of the announcements at Summit. And you'll usually do a live workout with the local coaches there. I know in Charlotte, Autumn Calabrese is actually coming, and Carl Deichler, the CEO, and they're going to be here the Saturday night of the Super Saturday weekend. And, for any of the coaches that are in South Carolina or North Carolina that want to come to that, I would say, let me know. I'll help you get a ticket and we can get you there. I know I'm going, and I think Taryn's coming, and I'm not sure if anybody else is at this point, but should be really fun. Ours here is like at 6 p.m. or something Saturday night. So some might be on Saturday and some might be on Sunday, depending on where you are. And they do try to make these like fairly big events. They give away a lot of prizes at them. They do a lot of recognition at them, and it's a great way to network. And so I would say if you can go, definitely try to go. I think here our coach tickets are like $10 to $20, and it's totally worth it. And it's a tax deduction because it is considered a business expense, a training expense. And, it's worth the investment because you actually get some really good takeaways. And the only other announcement I have is that Beachbody's Cup is coming up in August. And Beachbody does these cup events like 4 times a year, and they're basically team competitions. And it's all based on Success Club points, but you can qualify for prizes depending on your team's performance for the month. And for August, it's going to be teams of 5. And I believe if a team gets 30 Success Club points, they qualify for a Tier 1 prize. And then it just goes up from there. But you do have to actually, I think, get a certain number of Success Club points personally to qualify for that prize. And then the highest scoring team actually gets flown out to California, and they get, presented some giant cup, and they get recognition that way. And I would say, like, if you do nothing else that I'm saying on this call, sign up for a team, because it's not something you have to pay for. It'll only push you to work a little bit harder, and it's a great way to set goals for yourself for the month. And honestly, it's kind of a fun team event. And I mean, I'm happy to jump on a team with someone. And I'm pretty sure anybody else in the group will too. So teams of 5. And if for some reason someone gets left out, which I don't foresee, our bigger teams that we're a part of always have people available to jump on those teams with you. All right. So if you have any questions, just ask as we go. I wanted to just kind of take this initial call and just set like a really basic goal for everyone, or, give you kind of a takeaway project for yourself. And I posted Summer Tucker's video in our team page last week. And if you listen to that video, and I've already actually listened to it 3 times, because I just feel like she just is such an incredible speaker to me. I know she kind of preaches at you, but what she says is so true. And she's somebody who really craves teaching other people and wants to give you attention, and has done really well in this business. And she's not somebody whose name you're ever going to hear being recognized on a daily basis, but she and her husband, have been in this business for 7 years. I think I said before, she makes like $60,000 a month. And I'm not, here to preach about financial gains at all, but, I think that's a pretty incredible business she's built for herself. And we all are in her downline. And, that video she posted just really resonated with me, because it's so basic. You start with a vision and you focus on consistency. And those 2 things are going to be what propels you to have a really successful business. And it's not success in the form of financial gain necessarily, but it's success in the form of helping other people. And it's success in the form of showing up every day, even when you might be having kind of that rough day, or you might not necessarily even know how to approach people. We all started as a coach for a reason. It might be that we want to stay at home with our kids more. It might be that we want to help pay for, Christmas presents without having to put that on a credit card. It might be that we want to help pay medical bills. It might be that we want to, pay for a vacation for our family. These are all really small things, but they are what our why initially started as. And I think that's something that you have to keep sight of in this business, because it's so easy to get deterred, and it's so easy to get discouraged. Not everyone says yes to you. You don't always feel like working out. You don't always have the best workout. You don't always stick with your meal plan. But the one thing that you can always come back to is why you started in this business. And, she says over and over again, you have to form your vision, and then you have to share your vision to actually make it real. And I think that honestly is such a huge thing. I know I've said on videos I posted in our group, I started this kind of just wanting to make myself better. But as I had a son who was, about 8-9 months old growing up, and I was seeing his, reaction when he'd be dropped off at daycare each day, and just losing his mind, crying, and feeling the pain of that, and seeing I had no choice but to send him, because my husband and I have student loans, and we have bills we have to pay, and we don't have the ability for me to be a stay-at-home mom. It just totally clicked. Like, this is my why. I want to have that freedom and flexibility to spend the whole day with him if I want to, or if he needs to go in a half-day program, send him to that, versus 8 to 5 every single day, and he's crying and he's sad. And yeah, I know that the social interaction he gets there is something that I can't necessarily offer, but to be able to at least say I have the option to do it, and knowing I have a new child on the way, I just see the potential in this business to allow me to make that call if I want to. And that's my vision, and that's my why, and I feel like we all have to connect with that and come back to it. I just posted a video on my page about how this has been the worst week as a Beachbody coach I've ever had. And it was, from kind of minuscule reasons, people canceling, switching coaches, things like that. But, that probably would have made me quit a year ago. But because I know what my vision is, and because I know what my why is, I know that's a non-negotiable. Like one bad day is just a bad day. Tomorrow I'll start fresh again. And I see people quit on a daily basis. And I just think, you have to go back to that original connection and really keep that in mind. You didn't start this for no reason. You started this, number one, because you wanted to make yourself better. And you started it, number two, because you thought maybe you could help other people along the way. But there's something else deeper there. And every day you should get up and work on yourself, if nothing else. And if you just can't quite muster up the energy to help someone else, save it for the next day, but continue to work on yourself and continue to focus on yourself. And I think that some of the other things with this business do fall into place. And I like this quote. I read this book, Start With Why. And I know, when I talk to everyone about personal development, this is not the book I tend to start with recommending. It's usually You're a Badass, just because I feel like we all need kind of that swift kick to get going. And, usually you're struggling with something self-confidence wise. But in Start With Why, he says, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And what you do simply proves what you believe. And it is what we always say in our challenge groups, like start with your why, then the how will follow. And I feel like that is so true. And, my takeaway from this and kind of my assignment for everyone was that you really think about what your why is and write it down and share it, in the group. And then, maybe I'll give away a little prize for that. But I think, that is something that if you don't come back to, you'll lose sight of why you even started this in the first place. And it is something that you could easily quit because it's hard. It's not like this major hard thing in our lives in comparison to everything else we go through, but it is like an easy hard to get rid of if we don't necessarily see success right away. And then the second thing she talked about in the video was consistency. And, she said you can't become good without it. And that is true. And I think that if you've ever listened to any of my videos or the National Wake Up Call, you always hear people coming back to Beachbody's 4 vital behaviors. And they are the 4 vital behaviors for a reason. Those small little things that you do on a daily basis are going to be what really drives you forward in this business, but they also are going to be what helps you continue to improve yourself. And, like people constantly ask me, and when I have calls with the new coaches, they say, what do you do? How much time are you spending on this? And, in the beginning, I wasn't spending much time because I didn't have that many people to talk to, but I was going out and making those new conversations every day. And it wasn't some exorbitant amount. I really like that Power of 3 tracker when you get started, because I feel like adding 3 new friends on Facebook, starting 3 new conversations, and inviting a certain number of people a week, I don't think it's necessarily 3 a day, is a really easy place to get started. And, you can do that in the cracks. And I think all of us have full-time jobs or families we're taking care of, and it kind of has to be worked in the cracks. And, I think if you could set a little schedule for yourself and say, I might be working, but I take a 15-minute break at 10 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, go and add your 3 Facebook friends for the day. That's a really easy thing to do. And then, if you get another break around lunch, at lunchtime, you can, go in and start 3 new conversations. And it can be something really as simple as telling someone happy birthday via message versus actually posting it on their wall. And the reason why that makes an impact is because it gives you greater visibility on their Facebook page if you're messaging them. But start a conversation that way and say, happy birthday, how have you been? Or, do you have any great plans for your birthday? Or if you've seen something that you can connect over that shows up on your Facebook feed, start just a really basic conversation with that person. You don't always, I wouldn't lead with Beachbody in almost any scenario unless someone messages you and asks you about it. Otherwise, you don't really seem very genuine and they think you're just trying to sell them something. And I know all of us have received random Rodan and Fields messages or been added to a group that you didn't ask to be added to. And the, sales part was the lead, and that always turns you off, I'm sure. But, I feel like we want to differentiate ourselves from that. And we want to be different. And we really are here to create conversation. And I think, the best way to get started, and I feel like I'm going to keep coming back to getting started because this is a fairly young team and a fairly new team, but is starting with those basic conversations. And then as you're making your posts about your workouts or your food or your challenge groups or, even post about your family, but if it's kind of mixed in with the other stuff and you see somebody that's consistently liking those things, reach out to them and say thank you. Say thank you for your support. Say thank you for, giving me confidence to keep going. Thank you for recognizing what I'm doing. And, that's a great way to get started with conversation. And that's exactly how I got started doing it. And I think that's something that you don't have to overthink. You just say, thank you for your support. It's really hard to put yourself out there on a daily basis. But I'm doing it because it keeps me accountable. I just want you to know what your support really means a lot to me, or something like that. And people will never be turned off by that. They see that as genuine and sincere. And you might also see that those people have been following you for a reason, and they kind of have questions for you, but they're a little too scared to ask. And it just is a good segue into a longer conversation. And so I just wanted to keep it really basic. I wanted to say that, if you are, number one, if you create that vision and you keep coming back to that vision, if you have to write it down on a piece of paper, I know I do, like we have our challenge group going on and this is my why right here. I'm just a visual person. I have to see it. And I think I need that kind of smack in the face on days where I'm just like, I don't want to work out. I come back to that and I'll go do my workout. But same in the business side of things. If you have your vision, you say you don't really feel like messaging anyone today, or you don't really feel like, logging into the team page to watch that video that's been posted or something like that, or you don't feel like showing up to the team call, go back and look at that vision, let it smack you in the face, and let it know that you showing up is making a difference right away. And it means that you actually you've got some skin in the game and you're here for a reason and you are being serious about your business. And then on the consistency side, constantly, making those connections is key. Having a few conversations going at a time is key, but also don't forget, a little bit of personal development each day. I think 10 pages, 10 minutes, something like that is a great place to start. Doing your workouts, drinking your Shakeology, and if you have someone to recognize them, because recognition is a part as well. And I think if you can do those small tasks, but just do them consistently and keep up with it over time, that's where you see growth. People need to trust you, and they need to see that you're committed, and they will only trust you to help keep them accountable if they see that. And I think if you could show up and do those small tasks every single day, that's where you gain credibility. I mean, in the beginning, I had friends making fun of me, saying like, you're not a fitness professional. Why are you posting all this stuff? You're being annoying. I mean, I heard all of this, and my why and my vision was stronger than all the negativity. And half those people have now asked if they could join a group with me because I stuck with it and they thought they could trust me. And I think that's something that, you have to have a little bit more of a long-term goal set up to know you're going to achieve. And then those people will start to buy in with you, basically. So I hope that's, I wanted to keep it basic. I wanted to keep it short. If you have any questions, you can unmute yourself. I'm not expecting my mother to ask any questions. So, Lauren, is there anything you wanted to ask? Let me see. I'm going to
unmute. Not off the top of my head.
You're on the spot. I know. I want to say I appreciate you showing up. I think, taking advantage of every free resource that you have is a really big deal. And, luckily with Beachbody, there are several free resources. And I am someone who watches YouTube videos every day, reads every day, and I am hoping to bring some of that back here because I know not everyone has the time to do that. I just can't work and not have something going on in the background. And so, I take advantage of the free trainings out there. And maybe we can get together in Nashville. Are you going to be around?
I was thinking, yes, we definitely need to. I'm literally, depending on traffic, 20-25 minutes from downtown.
I'm going to ask if in Fit and Fierce if you can come to the team party if you want.
Okay.
I know they do.
When is
I think
Summit?
that one's on Thursday afternoon. It's Summit starts on the 28th, like formally. I'm going to get there on the 27th, and I think that the Fit and Fierce party is on the 28th, like in the afternoon. They're going to get it catered and stuff. But I'm going to ask in Fit and Fierce and see what events you can maybe come to and see if you can work one out or something.
Okay.
And then you can at least kind of see what it's about, and then maybe next year. I don't think it'll be in Nashville next year, though. I think they do it.
I know. I was like, I'm missing out on the
easiest
the last year that it's right here and I don't have to fly somewhere.
I know, and it was in Vegas the 2 years before, and maybe they would go somewhere else that might be kind of like easy and neutral too. I feel like Nashville and Vegas, you cover both sides of the.
Yeah, both sides of the U.S.
But who knows? Maybe Nashville gives them some really good deal and they'll come back again.
It's a fun place.
I know. I'm excited.
I think we're like the number 1 or number 2 city to live in now. On the rise.
I think it is. It's gotten crazy. My one friend that lives there, that I've moved there for music and stuff, was just, telling me about.
It has gotten crazy. I mean, I was born here. Obviously, I don't remember too much from being really little here, but I know enough to know it's a lot different than it was 25 years ago.
Right.
Totally different place.
Well, it's fun.
But it's really cool. It's a really cool place.
Yeah, you have a lot of.
You've been to Nashville, haven't you?
Mm-hmm. Oh, look at you with your wine. Just rub it in.
Mm. I'm just gonna drink it up real hard.
Okay, Cindy, do you have any questions?
Yes, I do. Can you repeat the date? Can you repeat the date of the event in Charlotte?
Yeah, I think it's August 6th. Let me double check. And there is a Facebook group for it. It's called Charlotte Super Saturday. And it has all the details right in there. And if you'd like to come with me, I'd be more than happy to have you as my guest. It's August 6th from 6 to 9. And Lauren, I'm sure the national one is really big too.
I just looked it up today, I think, actually. It's August 6th.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw one in Nashville, so.
Yeah, I don't think you'll get any celebrity trainers since they'll have been there the week before, but.
Right.
Okay. That's the day we return from family vacation, so I'll have to see what I can work out.
Well, Autumn will be waiting.
With bated breath. Okay, cool. And the team competition in August?
Right. Sign up starts July 18th.
Do they have senior divisions?
No.
That's a legitimate question. You know that.
No senior divisions. Sorry, but you can join a team with us young bucks.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, I mean, that's snubbing us.
No, it's not. I mean, you guys outdo everything that an older person does. So that's why I asked if there was like an older person's or a senior division.
But it's not like a fitness competition. It's not. Success Club points, right?
Right. It's all based on the people you help.
Okay, then I'll just be quiet because I'm showing my lack of understanding. Thank you.
Yep, we'll get you on a team. Don't worry. And Lauren, I expect you to jump on a team. It's a fun little competition. And it's with teams of 5, I think at least within our team, we could get 2 teams. All right, guys. Well, thanks for showing up. Drink some wine for me. And have a great night. If you have any questions that come up later, just ask. I'm going to post the recording in the team page. And, yeah. That's it.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thanks.